John Wick Chapter 4 stars Keanu Reeves as everyone's favourite hitman on the run, and this was once again directed by Chad Stahelski. John Wick uncovers a path to defeating the High Table, but before he can earn his freedom, Wick must face off against a new enemy with powerful alliances across the globe and forces that turn old friends into foes. So to begin this review, I think the first thing that everyone would want to know is the action any good in this film? Well, I'm happy to report that the action is very good. It's actually great. It's actually mind-blowing. And this has made John Wick Chapter 4 one of the greatest action films of all time. The reason why the action does work very well in this film is from the incredible directing by Chad Stahelski. From someone who started in the industry as a stunt performer will know the correct skills, the timing to create these eye-catching, intense and exciting action sequences. After doing a fantastic job once again, just like the previous 3 films, Stahelski has directed, in my opinion, the best film in the series. He is up there as one of the best modern action directors with Gareth Evans and Christopher McQuarrie. Without spoiling, my favourite action scene is when John Wick is in Paris and is trying to get up these outside staircases, and at every level a bad guy is already there. There is an unexpected moment that happens without spoiling. It's unexpected, it's frustrating, but it's absolutely excellent. And it shows from someone who doesn't want to rush the entertaining value of fight choreography in filmmaking. Apparently this whole scene was shot for over 5 days. I can guarantee you it will not be disappointing, and by being shown the hard work, dedication and appreciation of stunt workers. On a side note, I just wanted to say that I do think stunts should be given an awards category in the Oscars. John Wick Chapter 4 had an amazing cast and performances. When it comes to Keanu Reeves, I don't really think he is a great actor on an emotional level. However, I do consider him to be a fantastic physical actor, and in my opinion this has got to be the best in his career, from his fight choreography. Lawrence Fishburne and Ian McShane, who both return in this film, were both excellent. As well, Lance Reddick, who sadly passed away recently, gives a minor but an unforgettable final performance. I will always remember Lance Reddick as Deputy Daniels in The Wire. Of course, we have some new characters in John Wick Chapter 4. Donnie Yen, who is in this film, plays a blind man for the second time, who is named Kane and is a hitman who has been asked to go and kill John Wick. He has a very simple and personal goal, and with his recognition in martial arts, is very entertaining in the film. And you very much believe his goal whilst he is chasing John Wick. Another new character who is also a hitman after John Wick is called Tracker. I believe he goes by the name Mr. Nobody, played by Shamir Anderson, who I've not really seen that much in before, but he plays a very cool, charismatic and smart character. He has a sidekick, which is a dog, and I very much look forward to seeing him in the near future. We also have Clancy Brown in the film, and Hiroyuki Sanada, who both was fantastic in the film and played essential characters. Scott Adkins, who plays this German bulky villain called Killer. I very much liked his performance, and it was pretty unrecognisable, and also to do with the amazing makeup he had on him. He reminded me of a little bit of Colin Farrell from The Batman, who played the Penguin. Finally, we have Bill Skarsgård as the main villain, and once again does a terrific job. He plays a villain who is unpredictable, menacing, and will not hesitate to get what he wants. As well, he will do damage to characters such as John Wick, Kane, and Mr. Nobody. So all of the performances were fantastic. A lot of the characters are pretty dangerous, like I wouldn't want to mess with any of them, but at the same time, everyone was pretty likeable in this film. I thought John Wick Chapter 4 was a very well shot film, showing these extreme wide shots to establish locations and set pieces. Like the action being the greatest and even the biggest, I would have to say that this is also the biggest John Wick film in regards to the incredible production design, and for some reason it was pretty beautiful as well. They truly go all in, and it shows the care and passion to show how big the world building of John Wick is. In addition towards the camera work, there is this scene when John Wick is shooting a bad guy from like every corner and every room in this selection of rooms, and it was captured and shown from like this God's eye view perspective. And it reminded me of something from like Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver. I thought it was a well-made scene, and again showing the size and scale of this being the biggest in the John Wick franchise. The dialogue and calm scenes do give you enough breathing space before the action kicks off. They worked for John Wick when he was in conversation with Donnie Yen's character by showing John Wick has reached the potential end of his story and showing how far his journey has been. It is the most mature I have seen in the drama scenes from the John Wick films. Regarding the story of John Wick Chapter 4, it is, once again, pretty simple. Very much like the previous 3 films to be simple, but it's kind of similar to the previous film. Of course, the priority of the John Wick films is the action, and the plot has always been about a cat and mouse chase happening. However, with John Wick Chapter 4, this feels like a dog, cat and mouse chase happening. As I mentioned, everything about John Wick Chapter 4 is the biggest of the series, and like everyone comes after John Wick. Now, considering that Chapter 4 is a pretty simple story, I also would have to say that it's possibly the most unforgettable one, but I don't want to get into that because of spoilers. Now, I'm interested to see where John Wick Chapter 5 will take us. Now, I remember back in 2019 when the 3rd film was released, and the 4th and 5th film was confirmed. Apparently they were meant to shoot both films back to back, but according to my research, apparently Keanu Reeves and Chad Stahelski did discuss that they've decided to give John Wick a bit of a break. I can honestly not blame them because planning, shooting and editing a 2-hour and 45-minute film must have been exhausting. According to IMDb, Chapter 5 is apparently in pre-production, so we shall see when that happens and what the story will take us. If not, I would not really be annoyed and I would understand if this is the final chapter of John Wick. Overall, John Wick Chapter 4 was an amazing example of why realistic action films are still worth seeing and should still be made. Making this one of the greatest action films out there, I would say this is up there with films such as The Matrix, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Mission Impossible Fallout, The Raid 1 and 2, and Mad Max Fury Road, in my opinion. Based on my Letterboxd rating, I'm going to give John Wick Chapter 4 a 5-star out of 5. Thank you so much for watching, and look out for more videos coming your way.